Welcome back to Tony Dock Station. So as you can see, I've been making some changes since the last video, starting with these curves here. So you can see where it was before, so I've straightened that out to make the approach into the curve a little bit easier, and it also means I can get around with a wider curve, which is what I put in is now third radius. When you can compare it to, that's the second radius and this is the third radius. And you can actually see where the track was before, and then it sort of levels back out into there. So I've only done this one for now. I'm going to do the others, excuse me, the one on the other side. Then I have got enough track to replace these second radius curves. So I might do that, or I might replace those because they're second radius, but I didn't really have any problems with that, so I might leave those seeing as they're glued down and replace this one. Obviously it needs a bit of a clean rubbing, doing some soldering and stuff like that, but the curve seems to be a bit better now. So all I've done is obviously just pulled up the track pins because it was only pinned down, and then took out the, because that was flexi tracking, that one there, just took that out, put the curve in, made sure that it joined on a straight, because before there was a bit of a kink which needed to be sorted out, so now that joins on a straight and is nice and smooth, and makes the approach into the curve a bit easier, and then comes out pretty much straight. It's a very, very subtle curve there, just to bring this one there. Need to put some sleepers back in there, and to bring that out so it's much more smoother transition as well, which I'm happier with. So I'm going to do the other one and go from there. So literally with this as well, I just obviously took the dropper wires off, just desoldered them, pulled them back down underneath the baseboard, and then relayed the cork, relayed the track, re-drilled the holes, and just thread the dropper wires back through and soldered them back on. So this was literally about let's say 20-minute job with cutting the track, putting the soldering back on, and going from there. So 20 minutes to do one curve, and that was it. So I'm not going to bother showing you how to do it, as it's just repeating work I've already done. But that is a lot happier with that. And I have also run just by hand, just run a carriage around and made sure that I've got clearance between here, which I have. So I've got no problems in getting carriages round. So I'm happy with that as well. Okay, so I've just finished doing the other side, and as you can see it sweeps out a lot more and then comes around and then straightens out and back onto where it is there. So you can see obviously where it was before and how much more that has gone round. Now I was thinking about, as I mentioned in the last clip, changing the inmost inside line to third radius as well. However, if I just show you, so as I was saying, because I've got this point here, the curve will actually have to join on there like it does at the moment, and then as you can see the difference between the second and the third radius there, it'll come out to there, which is fine, and then I can sort of straighten it down there, and then if I just bring that to the other side, when it comes to this side, to get the right clearance that side, it's sort of going to have to be something like that, just roughly, so that I can still get the clearances between the carriages, whereas I do think that by putting it there I might have some problems, and I can't really push it much further in because otherwise it's going to be close to that beam here. So this is probably about furthest in I could take it, and we'll get to there. So I might think about doing that, but at the moment everything is running well, as I will show you now. Okay, so I've got the 423, which was the problem derailleur going around that curve. So if I now set this off, you'll see it run round, and it's much more fluid. So as you can see, it runs around that a lot more easily without any sort of trouble. So it's definitely worth changing that there. The reason I'm not so much worried about changing this one at the moment, I probably will, but at the moment it's got my freight line on it, and that seems to be running well. So what I'm going to do is just quickly get the freight running up at speed. And get these two running together. I mean, I appreciate they're going in the same direction at the moment, but it's going to give me an idea of how they're going in the pairs together. But the freight liner doesn't seem to struggle with this second radius, so at the moment I'm not inclined to change it. But like I mentioned, I probably will, but just at the moment, while everything's running, I'm quite happy. I'm just more concerned about the minute I move that particular curve is where I'll lose the clearances there. Okay, so this is the clearances at the moment. As you can see, it's no issues really. Oh, sorry, no issues with the clearances. Now as I say, my concern is by bringing in the third radius, am I going to have the same clearances, particularly around this corner here. It does look like actually it sort of straightens on there, so I don't think this would be as much as an issue. It's more, I know that this is going to push further out like that or so. So we may be alright. Yeah, so at the moment at least the major problem has been solved. Okay, so as you can probably hear, there's a lot of trains running. So I've got all three running, and the freight liner at sort of a cruising freight speed. Got the 423 going round, quite well. And I've got that class 50 going, and in the last video it was struggling to get up around that corner. Now if we follow it, we'll see how that performs, and I bet sod's law, now that I've said I'm going to follow it, it's going to struggle. It slows, but it gets up and round. Easier than it did before at least. However, this 423, I don't know what it is, but about where that freight liner is, but obviously on the middle track, it seems to stall, and I've checked all the connections, see if it does it this time. About there. Yeah, see, it seems to stop and then go back on. I've cleaned the track, I've checked all the connections. Not quite sure what that is. I'll have to look at that further. But they're all running and they all go past each other with no issues. Clearances are all good. That's the main thing. The major problems are now all sorted. And the only thing I've got left to do is pretty much where the freight liner is on that curve. And this curve on the near track is to change into third radius at some point. If I even do, I might leave them for the 423 stored again. I might leave them, but at the moment, quite happy with it. So this was the trouble area with the 423 stalling. Turns out I had some dodgy fist plates. So I've just put a bit of solder between them. And it now seems to run over them at a decent quality without stalling. So it's just coming along, and now put it at a slower speed just to check. That's going around there fine now. Okay, so the other little thing that I've managed to do this week is this. As some of you may remember, was the option for one of the first runs. I finally got down to grabbing hold of a sound DCC decoder for it. And now I've got that operating as well as the 47. So yeah, I converted my 66 into the first sound loco, and I used the tutorial from Barnabas Junction to do that. It was quite relatively simple. I was quite pleasantly surprised, and I got an absolute bargain on the sound chip. I picked it up for 20 quid and got a harness for the decoder for a fiver, so 25 quid to get this to DCC sound. Which I think is an absolute bargain. I am thinking about having to actually adjust these two lines here. As you can see, they're okay for operating one by one, but I have to space them out a little bit better. Okay, so one last thing I want to ask people who are familiar with the Dynamis Ultima is some problems I'm having with the CV settings. So I know and I've got it set up on the programming track here, and it isn't just with this loco. I've had it with all of my locos so far, and they're all using different decoders. And before anyone asks, yes, I've read the manual for all the decoders, and yes, I've read the manual for all of this. I've tried forum searches, so yes, I've done everything, and now I'm asking you guys. So for anybody that is familiar, I know that you need to go to the programming functions, and then I know you have to program on the service track. Now the weird thing is that I can go to CV 3 and 4, I can read them, and it gives me their value of 18, for example, and it'll be the same for 4. So I change that to value 4, the deceleration, that should come up around 40, I think it is. Yep. My problem is for anything over 4, so for 5 and upwards, it doesn't matter what it is. Every time I try and just read it, I get a read error. And every time I try and program anything, for example, if I change this to, I don't know, let's just say 200, I get a write error, and that is for every CV value upwards. So even though I can program, say, 4, let's change it, it's 40 already, so let's just make it 40 again. It'll program 3 and 4, and it'll successfully program those. So it is programming, I just don't know why it's not programming from CV 5 upwards. And it's not just this sound chip, it's for my normal decoders, and they're all different makes and brands, and it's always the same, so I think it's something to do with this controller. The other thing I have tried as well is going into the service track programming mode, and I've tried all the different modes, everything, and it's all the same. So if Marie suggests that, I've tried changing the programming mode to every single one, and I always get the same problem. So I'm not sure if there's a problem with the dynamist or if I've got something set up wrong. I've got my programming track, I've got it soldered, and then that goes into the back, into the programming track slot, and I've tried switching the tracks around to see if that was it as well. None of that has resolved my problem. So if you've got any ideas or solutions, please, I would be most grateful for them. So I'm going to apologise that this video has been pretty short this week, and there hasn't been much, but I've just only had an afternoon this week. So all I've managed to do is obviously change those curves and put this sound chip in and get that running. I'm hoping for the next week I've got some bits on order to start building the control panel and finally put some switches in for the point motors. So that's going to come for hopefully the next video after this one. So I'm going to thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. I also just want to thank you all again once again for your support, and I just want to say don't forget to check out my competition which is running. Entries close this Sunday the 25th of February. I also just want to say again, for the lack of progress this week, I've been busy moving house and will be for the next few days, but I'll hopefully have a good bit of progress for you next week. So don't forget to comment, like, subscribe and share these videos. Thanks, see you next week.